Hello, sir.
Sat Sahib Ji.
What is your good name?
My name is Anil Prasad Singh or devotee Anil Das.
Where have you come from?
I am from Kapurthla, Kent, Punjab.
Sir, what work you do?
I am currently working as PGT Physics in Vice Principal grade at Kendriya Vidyalaya Kapurthala, Kent. I have been working as PGT Physics for last 20 years. During this period, I also served as principal on deputation at Jawaharlal Navodaya Vidyalaya, Dalai, Tripura, from November 2003 to May 2005. And currently, I am again posted in Kendriya Vidyalaya as PGT Physics in Vice Principal grade.
Sir, what worship did you do before joining shelter of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj?
Sir, I came to the shelter of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj on March 27, 2004. Before that, from 1998 to 2004, I was a disciple of Sant Asaram Ji. And prior to that, I did not do any devotion. I did not even know that one should do devotion or not. It was purely by chance and due to a recommendation from someone that I took initiation from him. And the mantra he had given, he used to speak 5 to 7 mantras on the mic in the entire hall. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Hari Om, Tat Sat, Om Tamaha. Similarly, Gayatri Mantra, Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya, the complete mantra. This is how he used to speak 5 to 7 mantras and said out of these mantras, he asked us to choose whatever mantra we like, which is the mantra of your deity. Now, before the initiation, I used to believe in Shiva, that Shiva is the Almighty God, as I had no spiritual knowledge. So I had chosen Om Namah Shivaya mantra, and when I selected Om Namah Shivaya mantra, it became my mantra. And after that, he also gave one more mantra, Soham. And the method of chanting it was that when the breath goes out, say so. And when the breath comes in, say Aham. And he used to tell that by chanting this mantra, God can be attained quickly. But I could not understand that despite Om Namah Shivaya being my mantra, Shivji is my God. Then how would attainment happen quickly with another mantra? But because I had no spiritual knowledge, I was silent. Whatever devotion he told, I used to do it. Various temples of silence are built in their ashram. I was in Kakroli district of Rajasthan at that time, so there was an ashram of his in that place, and I used to go to that ashram to practice silence for 24 hours a week. In addition to this, he asked to do all 24 Ekadashi fasts and all the Jagrans like Janmashtami, Krishnashtami, Ramnavami and so on. I used to practice it all. Along with it, I also used to do Ganesh worship, used to recite mantras during Navratri along with worshipping unmarried girls. I used to read all the books that were published from his ashram carefully, all the cassettes that were made available. I used to listen them all and read all the books carefully so that if any new practice comes along, I can do that. He would tell that in Chaturmas one should not sleep on the bed, so I used to sleep on the ground. One should not wear black clothes in months of Chaturmas, so I stopped wearing black clothes. Then he told that one should bath with sesame and amla water. My bucket was damaged, but I bathed as told. But while doing all these activities, instead of getting any spiritual benefits, I started having physical problems. I gained nothing but problems in my body. My knee started to ache. I got cervical. I had a disc problem, and the major thing was that I started having stomach problem. I had an indigestion problem. I used to do so much devotion, chanting mantras in morning and evenings, doing everything. Also, I ate Ayurvedic medicines of rupees 1000 to 1500 per month. Still, I got no relief. Since I had no spiritual knowledge, I had no complaints about his method of devotion. Furthermore, he also said that one should read Ramayana, so I bought that book and read it completely. Though I could not understand anything of what was written in it, I kept on reading as Guru had told. One thing I recollect from it that Vashishta ji, who was the Guru of Lord Rama, when he used to go to cities, people used to abuse him, used to misbehave with him. So I realized that the people always hate true saint. A yearning arose in me while I was associated with him. After joining him, as he used to say that even if the saint gets angry at you or scolds you, we should feel fortunate so. I surely attained some qualities of a devotee. He ordered us not to listen to the satsang of other saints, but there was such intense curiosity in me that wherever I lived, I would go and listen to the sermons of any saints in nearby areas. From there, I would bring their CDs, cassettes, books, etc. If I got any good spiritual practice, I wanted to do it. Asaramji used to release a lot of cassettes like Death of Death. I used to listen it in a dark room at 10 or 11 p.m. in the night so that I could meet God, and I used to go to the satsang of other saints too. The saints used to say that by exclusive devotion only God can be attained. Then I used to think that we have been given the mantra Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji is our deity. But we are also asked to celebrate Ram Navami. We are also asked to observe Vijayadashmi. We are also asked to worship Durga. We are also asked to perform Hanuman Jayanti. All the gods and goddesses are being worshipped and shads are also done. Then how is this exclusive devotion? Means I cannot attain God like this. I asked many saints. Many saints used to come to Hisar. Some saint explained to me that if you consider Shiva as your deity and you visit Lord Rama's temple, then you think that it is not Rama, it's Shiva, and your devotion became exclusive. But I could not understand it. I was not satisfied that how could the idol of Rama be Shiva? So I was not satisfied. Then whichever saints I went to, all of them used to say that Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh are three deities. And they also mentioned about God, that God is our protector. He is the creator and God is someone else. Then I used to ask him that when Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh is in the category of deities, then who is God? Then those saints used to tell me that Upanishad's knowledge needs to be given the knowledge to you. So there was no direction. On one side, they used to tell that Brahma, Vishnu ji and Shiva ji are immortal. On the other side, they used to narrate that age of Brahma ji is 100 years. So I could not understand, if he is immortal, why is he only 100 years old? Then how he became immortal? Because I used to read scriptures too. I had read Shiva Puran and Vishnu Puran and Brahma Puran. So before coming to the shelter of Satguru Rampal ji, when I would read Shiva Puran, I understand that Brahma and Vishnu originated from Shiva. And in the Vishnu Puran, I read that Shiva and Brahma ji originated from Vishnu. There is a saint in Hisar, Deen Dayal ji. I used to go in his satsang too. I asked him that in the Shiva Puran, the origin of Brahma and Vishnu is written from Shiva. And in the Vishnu Puran, Shiva and Brahma's origin from Vishnu is written. How is this possible? He became very angry and said that you don't know anything and you are an atheist as you ask such questions. I remained silent because we were told that even if the saints scold us, a devotee shall consider it for his welfare. I remained silent with the belief that I am unaware about it. Then later he said that in some era God comes in form of Shiva and originates everyone, and this is how it happens. But I did not get any satisfaction from there before coming to the shelter of Satguru Rampal Ji Maharaj. Neither I got any spiritual satisfaction, nor did my physical troubles go away. And I was PGT physics, and I used to teach physics to 11th and 12th class students. Everyone linked with education sector knows that physics teacher earns a lot from tuition. Apart from salary, they can earn 1 lakh or 2 lakh per month from tuitions. 50,000 is a very nominal amount for them. So in those days, I was focused on earning as much money as possible from tuition. But when I came to the shelter of Sadguru Rampal Ji Maharaj, my focus completely moved away from earning money.
Before coming to the shelter of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, you were associated with Sant Asaram Ji. You also told that you met many Sant and tried to find answers to your questions. So which other Sant did you meet in this regard?
In this journey, there was an R.A. Samaji saint, I do not remember his name. I had heard in his sermons that when Ram is chanted, Ram has two syllables. When there is destruction, Ra and Ma is destroyed. But the Om word is indestructible, and by chanting it, one gets salvation. They get free of birth and death. In the meantime, Avdeshanand ji also used to have frequent satsang in Hisar. In those days, I had my posting in SR till 2004, in January, February, or March of 2003. Because in those days, when I was associated with him, I used to listen up to Satsang of all the saints, and as much time as I could get, I would listen to the Satsang of all the saints on the TV too. And whenever I would get a holiday, I used to sit down and listen to the live satsang on TV. One day in the evening, while changing TV channels, I reached a channel on which the satsang of Bandi Chhor Sadguru Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji was going on. Guruji was showing the Gita Ji and explaining the translation of it. And before that, all the satsang I had heard were like stories, not based on any book. My reaction was like, which type of saint he is? He is narrating from the book. Because I was a teacher and taught physics to 11th and 12th class students without book. Anyway, because I had a habit of listening to the satsangs, I started listening carefully. Sadguru Rampal Ji was reciting a verse of Gita Ji at that time. He was reading from the Gita Ji, which is published from the Gita Press, Gorakhpur. And he was saying, reading to us from it, that the Rajgun, Tamogun, Satgun are the three powers that arise from the Prakriti, Durga, and bind all the soul in the body. That is, they keep us in bondages and do not allow salvation. Then he took out Devi Bhagavad Puran, and on page number 123, he showed that Rajogun, Tamogun and Satgun, Rajogun is Brahmaji, Tamogun is Shivaji, and Satogun is Vishnuji. And later on page 123 of Markandeya Puran told that Rajogun Pradhan is Brahmaji, Satogun Pradhan is Vishnu, and Tamogun Pradhan is Lord Shiva. These are three gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and only these are the three powers, Rajogun, Tamogun and Satogun. So he cleared that concept, and that Rajogun, Satogun, Tamogun are code words and only a complete saint can explain it. And that Rajogun, Satogun, Tamogun in Gita Ji means Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh respectively. I became very curious. I was a teacher too, as I used to teach physics. So I became very curious that what he will tell next. I had never heard this knowledge before. After that, he again explained how these gods bind the soul in the body. As we will die whether we do worship or not, we are going to die even if we worship the three gunas, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Still we are going to die, but because this devotion is not per the holy scripture, so after my death, if my past good deeds are more, then I will get human life. In the next life, we might do devotion. If not, then we will become a dog, and then after the life of dog, a donkey, a cat, or something like that, into 84 lakhs form of species. Therefore, the soul will keep moving from one body to another, and it will not achieve complete salvation. He told one more verse in which he was analyzing the mantra 12 to 15 of chapter 7 of Gita Ji. Those whose knowledge has been stolen by illusion, those foolish, evildoers, lowest among men, do not even worship me. Maya means Triguna, Maya, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Satoguna. So Guruji was explaining that those who worship these three gods do not even worship the knowledge giver of Gita Ji.
Sir, how did you come to the shelter of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj?
One day, while changing the TV channels, I tuned a channel on which the Satsang of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj was ongoing, and a verse of Gita which was published from Gita Press Gorakhpur was being shown on the projection on TV. And there was this verse, Rajogun, Satogun, Tamogun, the three powers arising from Prakriti Durga, bind the soul to the body. This Hindi translation was being explained by Guruji, and he also read its Sanskrit as it is. Then he explained these powers from Devi Bhagavad Mahapuran and Markandeya Puran. On page 123 of Markandeya Puran, he told that Rajogun Pradhan is Brahmaji, Satogun Pradhan is Vishnuji, and Tamogun Pradhan is Shivaji, and that these are the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and these only are the three powers, Rajogun, Tamogun and Satogun. And then the second proof of this was on page number 123 of Devi Bhagavad Puran, which was also published from Gita Press Gorakhpur, on which Vishnuji was singing the glory of his mother Durga and telling that Vishnu, Brahma and Shankar exist by your grace, and we are into the cycle of birth and death. Only you are eternal, mother of the world and Prakriti Devi. Guruji had said that remember the word Prakriti. It will help in understanding Gita Ji. And then On the other side of the page 123, Lord Shankar is saying, "O Mother, if you are the one who created Brahmaji and Vishnuji, then I, Tamoguna Shankar, is also your child. I too am your child." So Guruji cleared from here too that Shiva is calling himself Tamogun. Then Brahmaji and Vishnuji are also Brahmaji, Rajogun, and Vishnuji is Satogun. Then, after giving so much evidence to explain that one verse, Guruji came back to the verse that Rajogun, Tamogun, and Satogun are produced from Prakriti, and Prakriti is called Durga here. This means Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, who originated from Durga, bind the soul in the body. They do not let the souls be free. Then Guruji explained that after our human life will end, depending upon our deeds, we might become animals or birds or in any other species form. And if we have some more good deeds, we become deities. That is, we will continue to get one body after other, but we will not achieve complete salvation. So the worship of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh is meaningless as per Gita ji, Guruji was explaining. Hearing this verse, as I was initiated by ashram in those days and my mantra was Om Namah Shivaya and Shiva was my deity, so I heard it for the first time. But before Deen Dayalu ji had told, because earlier I went to Satsang of All Saints, so I had listened to the Satsang of Deen Dayalu ji many times whenever it happened in Hisar. So he had said that the devotees should recite Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, at least one chapter a day. So I used to recite Srimad Bhagavad Gita in Hindi for many years. And I used to read all the verses, but no one can attain knowledge without a guru. So without a guru, I was unable to understand it. I used to think that the abuses that are written in Gita ji for seekers like fools, lowest of the men, evil doing, demonic, people who don't even worship me and worship other deities in Gita ji. I used to think that I am chanting the mantras, so this is not for me. It is for those who do not worship God. But later I realized, with the grace of Bandishore Satguru Rampal Ji Maharaj ji, it was written for those people who worship these three deities. So, because I was a devotee of Shivji and Shivji was my deity, God and I used to chant Om Namah Shivaya. So, when Guruji explained that those who worship three deities do not attain salvation, they have been called demons, I thought my head will explode, since I had full faith in Gita ji because I belong to Bihar state and in my village too. Whenever someone died, even in my childhood, I heard people saying that if we read a verse of Gita ji to him, dying person will attain salvation. So with that belief too, and here I was reciting Gita ji for many years and I had full faith in Gita ji and its verses. And Guruji also showed the verses and explained them to us. So I completely believed that this is the truth. But at that time, I did not think about searching the address of this saint and go to him for my benefit. I was not able to leave the wrong worship that I was doing, and my mind did not work to find Guruji. But in the meantime, I went to the satsang of an Arya Samaji saint who was doing satsang in Hisar. He used to teach yoga, asana, pranayam, etc. for a healthy body and also used to deliver a few sermons by saying something, practicing meditation, etc. One thing which he said stuck in my mind, that when destruction happens and we chant Ram, then there are two words, Ra and Ma. They get merged, gets destroyed, and those who chant it also perish. But Om is one word and it never gets destroyed even in the universal dissolution. So those who chant it do not perish. So he was telling the Om mantra, and that saint, Bandi Chor Satguru Rampal Ji Maharaj, I wasn't not associated with Guruji until then. He says that even the worship of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh is useless, but that is authenticated. So my head started aching with all this and I became confused. What should I do? Whom should I ask? In the meanwhile, Avdeshanand ji was also holding program in Hisar again and again. So I went to his satsang too. He used to tell stories from Bhagavat And in those days when I went there, he was telling the story of Sri Ram for the first time along with Bhagavat. So I went and tried to ask him the question that someone tells us to chant Ram Ram and someone tells that Ram has two words and it will get destroyed during destruction. So one should chant the one syllable Om mantra. So Swamiji, please guide me. What shall we do? But after that, I was left stunned with the reaction of Avdeshanandji. He is called a saint today. I know have spiritual knowledge that he doesn't deserve to be called a saint in society. But in those days, I was treating him like a saint. So he got very angry at me and said, "You are an atheist? You are an Arya Samaji? You are asking such questions?" I was shocked that what my mistake was. I was a fool and ignorant. He also said that you are an ignorant, you are stupid and confused. Then I thought in my mind that I am confused. That's why I am coming to the saints. And I kept on sitting quietly, and I remembered what Asharamji had told that even if saints get angry and even scold, we should think it our benefit and should not talk nonsense to them. I sat quietly like this for a long time, and TV journalists were taking his interview. Then after a while, he probably felt that there are some signs of a devotee in me. So he told me, "What questions you had, come to the room above. I will answer." So after some time, I went to the upper room. In the upper room, he told me that there are 21 such Brahmas, 21 Vishnu, 21 Mahesh and 21 universe. But you do not need to know all that. Whatever devotion you are doing, you will get complete salvation like all the rivers meet in the ocean. But my curiosity did not calm down. I thought that only that river joins the oceans which has full water in it and remains full throughout the year. And the river which has little water dries out before reaching the oceans. That river doesn't mix in the ocean. So I did not get satisfaction with his words, and in the meantime I got posted in Tripura. I went there on deputation on the post of principal. After about a year from there, I was coming back in March 2004. My family was in Hisar. When I was sitting in a bus in Delhi, then I again saw a poster of Sadguru Rampal Ji Maharaj. I had completely forgotten him, that I had listened to him on TV, his knowledge, and I had a discussion with other saints after that, because 8 or 9 months had passed after that. My mind got confused once again. And I thought that all the saints say that God is one, and by worshipping that one God, only we can attain salvation. But all these saints worship different deities and chant different mantras, different spiritual practices, different actions. If these saints are true and are telling different devotion and practices, why don't they make one decision after combining and concluding all that, and save the devotees from being so confused? They should have done it. They should have found one true path and given us. I thought that and become very upset again. And when I come to Hisar, Guruji was doing Satsang, and I went to listen to him for a day. Listen during day because I was already listening to his knowledge, but since this was new, so I couldn't understand it. But in the evening, it was the turning point of my life. In the evening of 27th March 2004, when I come to Satsang in the evening, at that time, Guruji was telling on the projector that the meaning of Anuttam, everyone knows it. Even the third class student can tell that the meaning of Anuttam is useless. Then there was a Sanskrit word, Vraj. Guruji showed its meaning from 2 different dictionaries. One was Amte and the other one I don't remember. And he showed the meaning of Vraj in the dictionary too. Go, go away, walk away, go far, go out of the country, depart, etc. Meanings were given. The meaning of Vraj is to go. Guruji clarified this, and after that he showed the Gita Ji, that is translated by Asaram. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse number 66, there is the word Vraj in that verse, and there Asharamji had done its meaning to come. Guruji showed it on the projector and then showed the Gita Ji translated by Ram Sukdas Ji. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, published from Gita Press Gorakhpur, the meaning of Vraj was done to come. Come in my refuge, and to prove this wrong translation, he wrote such a thick book. He had explained it in 17 pages, and after that, in the Gita translated by Sudhanshu Ji Maharaj, too the meaning of Vraj was done as to come. Then Guruji showed the Gita translated by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who is considered to be such a great philosopher. The entire nation celebrates Teacher's Day in his name, that he was the best teacher, the best officer, and a philosopher, and a great scholar, and he had also done the meaning of Vraj as to come. Similarly, Guruji showed Gita Ji translated by many saints and translators who had done the meaning of Vraj to come. He showed the Gita of ISKCON, in which they have done the meaning of the word Vraj as to go, and when translating the verse 66 or chapter 18, they again translated it, come in my refuge. And the other word, Anuttam, all these saints had done the meaning of Anuttam as very good, in translation of verse 18 of Gita Ji's chapter 7. When Guruji translated these two verses on projector, I felt that no saints on this earth has any spiritual path. They do not have spiritual knowledge. If they had spiritual knowledge, then they would not have done the wrong translation of the verse of Gita Ji. And the meaning of the word Anuttam could not have been very good, which is done by them. The meaning of Vraj is to go, they have done it to come. If anyone has correct knowledge, it's only with Sadguru Rampal Ji Maharaj on the whole earth, because India has been the world guru. So no one outside India can have this sort of knowledge. And at present, as many saints are there in India, after examining the translation of Gita by all these, I had concluded that none of them have any spiritual knowledge. At the same time, I took the initiation from Guruji, and I was so fortunate. Today I get emotional remembering that day. I and my sons Subhash, who did not chant the mantra even once, and there was another elderly person. Only these three people were in the Guruji's Satsang in the police line, Hisar, on 27 March 2004. Today some construction had been done there. Guruji gave me a hug and said that, son, your destiny has changed. God has blessed you. You will get salvation and you have got Supreme God. I did not understand in those days, but today I feel that I have truly got the Almighty, and my life, my birth, human life has become successful. I am blessed that I got that opportunity to be the disciple of Sadguru Rampal Ji Maharaj on 27th March of 2004. I was reborn. I was actually born that day.
Sir, what benefits have you got after taking initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj?
After taking initiation from Saint Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji, I got so many benefits that if I start describing them, many hours will pass. Example, before I had a pain in my knees, I also had got cervical while doing those worship. I had an acute problem in my stomach, and I had not been eating ghee for the last 8 to 10 years, and due to that my body had become very weak. I had become very weak, and after taking the initiation from Guruji, ghee started digesting. My knee pain also got cured. My disc problem was gone. The slip disc problem was gone. All these were cured. Earlier, when I had taken initiation from Asharam Ji, I used to run after money. My mind was not calm. No sense of security from inside. There was no spiritual satisfaction. I used to run to every saint that I could get something from here or there, but still I was not satisfied. Now, after taking initiation from Guruji, I have complete spiritual satisfaction and I got physical benefits. And the biggest thing is that we get that complete enlightened saint about whom Gita Ji chapter 4 verse 34 says that we should pay obeisance to that enlightened saint and ask him politely. Then he will give us the knowledge of that Supreme God. And after getting that knowledge, about which it is said in Gita Ji chapter 15 verse 4 that after meeting that complete saint, we shall search the eternal place, going where the devotees never come back to this world. I found that process and I found that saint, I found that Supreme God.
What message do you want to give to devotees?
I want to give only this message to the devotees that human life is priceless. All saints have sung the glory of human life. Everyone has said that deities also yearn to attain human birth. Even before I come to Sadguru Rampal Ji's shelter, the wrong saints used to tell same. But we wanted to go to heaven by doing a worship of here. This is such a big dilemma, was our stupidity, because without an enlightened saint, this ignorance cannot go away. Deities also wish for human life, and if we, who have got human life, if we still want heaven, as many saints except Sadguru Rampal Ji Maharaj, all the saints, presently or earlier from Satyug to till today, their spiritual practice is up to heaven only. Deities live in heaven and those deities yearn to get a human life. Then all the devotee society should understand that attaining heaven is not the purpose of human birth. Beyond heaven, there is eternal place about which it has been said in verse 62 of Gita Ji, chapter 18, that to attain that eternal place, one should search for an enlightened saint, and that enlightened saint in these 21 universe is one and only Bandi Chor Sadguru Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji. Apart from him, there is no saint in these 21 universe on this earth and in India. I would like to appeal to all the devotee society with folded hands. I would like to do a humble request that do not waste this precious human life by doing devotional practices against holy scriptures. Every breath is of great value. We will not get the opportunity again and again. The Supreme God Kabir Dev has manifested himself as Saint Rampal Ji Maharaj. He is playing the role of a complete saint. He has scriptures-based spiritual knowledge. He has all the mantras, the complete course of salvation. After joining him, you will get physical benefits, you will get worldly happiness, you will get financial benefits, and you will get complete salvation. It has been said in Gita Ji chapter 15 verse 4 that after finding that enlightened saint, one should search for that supreme eternal place where after going the devotees do not return to this world. So you will find that supreme place which is also mentioned in verse 62 of chapter 18 of Gita Ji. Go to the shelter of that supreme God with his grace. Only you will get the ultimate peace and eternal place. So that enlightened saint who gives us supreme peace and eternal place, the saint indicated in chapter 4 verse 34 of Gita Ji, is Bandi Chor Sadguru Rampal Ji Maharaj only. All the devotee society should come to his refuge, leave your pride behind, leave the false spiritual practices and listen to his Satsang at 7:30 p.m. on Sadhana channel and 9:10 p.m. on Z Jagran. Listen to the Satsang on Sadhana channel at 7:55 p.m. in the evening. If you find the Gyan Ganga book, then read that book and get all the knowledge. And if any devotee gives you information about the Supreme God, way of worship, of our salvation and Bandi Chor Saint Rampal Ji Maharaj, listen to them carefully and come to the shelter of Supreme God and make your human life successful by attaining the way of worship for complete salvation. I would request to the devotee society.
Thank you, sir.